Welcome everyone to another episode of Nerdistan, a podcast where we celebrate being weird and being nerds. I'm your host, like always, Manoj Matthew, and joining me today through his sleeplessness, like through midnight, he's like struggling to stay awake just for this podcast, is my very good friend Jay Naya.
You definitely got that right, man. Let me just tell the viewers, let me just tell the audience, like we literally spent the last hour to fix our network issue. It's still not fixed, but
It was
yeah,
so
we'll
bad.
figure it somehow.
Yeah. We don't know. See, what we have done is we tried different ways. It was not working. Then in the end, I just put my mobile data and I just put my phone aside and I'm like, okay, now it's coming. No one move.
Yeah, exactly. Basically, we are so
It is,
superstitious right now, like the old, like our
yeah,
culture.
it's so fragile.
Yeah,
It's so fragile. I feel like if I sneeze, the connection will go.
yeah,
Welcome to all our listeners today. Today we'll be talking about Jamie Foxx returning as Electro. Some very bizarre news. We'll also be talking about WB's latest slate of movies for next year. If you're watching this on YouTube, be sure to hit that like button and do hit that subscribe button as well. The YouTube version is an abridged version. The extended version will be available on audio platforms. All the information is available in the description, and also if you're listening to this through an audio platform, feel free to leave us a 5-star review. No one did that last week, but I keep saying it because I'm relenting here. I'm like, just give us a 5-star review.
uh,
Anyway, so we'll jump into the first
yeah,
topic. I'm guessing, right? We covered all base for the intro. We did it in quick time also. Usually before we used to take 20 minutes just to get to the topic.
yeah. That's
But
true.
anyway, so a completely bizarre set of
Yeah,
news that Jamie Foxx is coming back as
yeah,
Electro. Now, for those who are not familiar, Jamie Foxx played the villainous character Electro in the Amazing Spider-Man 2
yeah,
movie, released way back in 2014, and now he's coming back. Now, it's not quite sure if it's the same character as he portrayed in Amazing Spider-Man 2, but it is said that he's playing the character of Electro. Now, I'll just give you my take of this before jumping over to you and hearing your side of things. I know many people were very disappointed when the Amazing Spider-Man franchise sort of died,
yeah.
and I was one of those people, like one of those people in the camp which actually really liked Andrew Garfield's performance as Spider-Man. And even though Amazing Spider-Man 2, I thought it was a very average film. I really enjoyed the first film a lot, and I was looking forward to a trilogy, I guess. But the whole MCU thing happened, which I guess it's for the best. But people have been sort of clamoring for multiverse kind of
Yeah.
movie, similar to the style of Into the Spider Verse. And many people have been saying that let's bring the Tobey Maguire version, let's bring Andrew Garfield, let's bring Tom Holland, and sort
Yeah.
of have them all team up and go up against something really big and epic. And that sounds awesome. But the last thing I expected was for them to bring back Electro. Like I was like, I was like, this is so weird
Yeah.
because I don't think anyone was actually clamoring for
Yeah.
this. Like I don't think anyone was like, oh man, I really want Electro to come back because
Yes.
I thought he was a pretty mediocre
Yeah.
villain in Amazing Spider-Man 2. I mean, it didn't really work that well for me. But I guess he's coming back, and I guess it opens the doorway to maybe seeing a multiverse kind of movie. Now,
Yeah.
Jay, give me your
Yeah.
thoughts on this
I
whole thing.
like I was reading about the same thing. I just want to mention 2 points, two very key points, which will help
Hmm.
you and the audience as well. See, by Far From Home, na, by the end of Far From Home, we definitely knew they were like Marvel is going to plan to introduce the Sinister Six. For those who don't know,
Yeah,
basically Sinister
definitely.
Six is a group of like six villains, Spider-Man's arch enemy.
Hmm.
The group was started by Doctor Octopus. The group
Hmm.
consisted of Vulture, Elect.
Doctor Octopus was the villain in Spider-Man 2,
Yeah,
the old Spider-Man 2,
yeah.
the Tobey
Tobey
Maguire version.
Maguire one.
So
Yeah,
just if you guys don't
yeah.
like yeah, okay.
Doctor Octopus. Yeah, Doctor Octopus lead the group. It basically other members are Vulture, which was the villain of Spider-Man Homecoming. Electro, which is set
Hmm.
to be introduced in the next Spider-Man movie. Then there is Mysterio, which is already introduced in Far From Home. Then Sandman and Craven the Hunter. And the second thing is, like as you said na, about the multiverse, I want to say
Hmm.
the three movies which are planned accordingly. Na, first one is WandaVision. the newest release in the like Marvel world. For like those who want to know more about WandaVision and the trailer and the breakdown from
Listen to
it,
the last
yeah, we
episode.
talked about
Yeah,
it
listen to the last
in the
episode.
last video. So
Yeah.
basically, with by the end of that, they are definitely going to enter the multiverse. Because like Wanda
Mm.
doing the manipulation of reality and all that. In and Spider-Man 3 is supposed to come around December 2021. Okay, so with
Mm.
Electro, if they're actually taking Electro from Amazing Spider-Man multiverse universe from here,
Mm.
this could
Mm.
they could like lead more into the multiverse pattern. And with
Multiverse
Doctor
theory.
Strange
Yeah.
Multiverse into Madness coming in 2022 in January, they could actually
Mm.
like finally taking things into their hand. Like Doctor Strange is supposed to be the king's guard, like of our planet, na?
Mm.
And basically he wants to like
Mm.
avoid all the clashes with the other universes. So basically,
True.
as
True.
far as I know, I like Marvel is going that way. But we'll soon know more about it.
But
It's
Jay, do you think they would get back Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield if they make a Spider-Verse movie? And how heavily do you think Spider-Man 3 will lean into these things? Because we already know there's going to be a whole that identity thing,
yeah,
like because his identity is revealed, that's going to be probably a major plot in
yeah.
that movie. Hopefully, I hope they don't just brush it
No,
aside.
no,
I'm hoping
definitely not.
that
Yeah,
becomes a major plot of the movie. And
yeah.
do you think like they will really lean into this in the third movie, or do you think maybe they might just introduce this and maybe you might have Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield maybe cameoing in the post-credit
I,
scene, and
I,
then Spider-Man
I
4 is going to be
yeah.
Spider-Verse.
I think
Wow, I'm so excited.
I know, like it's so good to like even think about like Tommy Maguire, Andrew Garfield, Tom Holland in sharing one screen. That would be
Yeah,
so awesome.
yeah,
But I
yeah.
think that's definitely far in the future, because like with the
Mm-hmm.
introduction, if they're actually introducing all the Sinister Six characters, there is definitely going to be Venom soon. Venom and Spider-Man crossover.
True, true.
So
So,
it
so
could,
Tom Hardy will
yeah, because like
probably, come
exactly,
up.
because
Yeah.
like Venom 2 is coming, where Venom and Carnage is going to be having like main antagonists.
And even Morbius is there,
Yeah,
which had Sam Raimi's Spider-Man behind,
exactly,
like in a
yeah,
post-trainer scene. And that trailer also had Vulture show up.
yeah,
So everyone is confused now. Like, what
yeah,
what is happening?
yeah. I'm just talking about it makes me so excited. I've never thought of
I
this like
know, I
that way.
know.
I'm so excited right now.
Yeah. Dude, I'm really pumped. I think the only thing I'm just wondering whether Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire would be up for it,
Yeah,
because Andrew Garfield didn't have the most healthy relationship with
true.
Sony. Like they parted ways very abruptly. Like no one really expected that to happen, and
Yeah,
I think because Andrew Garfield didn't really agree with the creative direction they
yeah.
took with the Amazing Spider-Man franchise, and there's also a lot of rumors saying that Mark Webb, who was the director of those two movies, never really got his full freedom as a director, and a
Oh,
lot of the choices were very studio oriented choices. Like they really wanted to set up a shared universe set around the Amazing Spider-Man movies.
okay.
So there is all that, but and I feel like Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire, they're in places where they don't really need to be superheroes
Yeah,
anymore. So I'm concerned whether they would actually go for it. But I feel like you throw some money in,
yeah.
and if especially if it's a different Sony leadership, I'm not very sure about the
Hmm.
leadership in Sony in terms of their film division, and
True.
especially if you have the MCU and like MCU attached,
Yeah,
you have someone like Kevin Feige attached. I think he might make that happen.
yeah.
There was a point of time where we couldn't imagine Spider-Man being in the MCU, and that
True.
happened. So nothing is outside the realm of possibility. But anyway, we are very excited for this.
Yeah,
And I think we have talked enough about this. I think,
yeah.
right? Like for like now, we'll go on to the next topic. So the next topic is WB has announced a large slate of films. And Jay, I would need you to take up the list of films here. Because my phone, I'm not touching my phone. I'm worried about the internet connection going down.
Okay,
So,
okay. Yeah, yeah.
I remember a few picks. I'll just talk about one or two, three of
Yeah,
picks. Like, oh, picks, no, one or two, three
yeah.
movies. Before like giving you that, there is one. I think they also announced a Tom and Jerry movie for 2021, an animated film. I'm really excited for that. I'm really excited for that. Then there are the usual suspects. You can say the Batman, the Suicide Squad movie. which we talked about in length on our DC fandom episode. Jay,
Uh,
bring out the entire list of
okay.
names. Go
So the very
ahead.
first movie which is going to come from the Warner Bros. Is 15
Hmm.
January. That is Mortal Kombat. So like
Okay.
about this, like I've seen the previous Mortal Kombat movie, Mortal Kombat 1 and
Yeah.
Annihilation,
Yeah.
and I would say as a like child like who just started playing Mortal Kombat in PlayStation 2, I loved it that movie because I literally had no sense of like what I just love to see the character. Oh, like Johnny Cage, oh Scorpio.
True,
I was
true,
just like,
true.
but now I want to say like please better do justice to those character because like
Hmm.
now is not the time you like do anything from the past and like make a reboot of it just like Jumanji did. See, Jumanji did well
True,
because
true.
of the new thing and it worked. They
Hmm.
took the risk and it
The Jumanji did well because they put the rock in it. You want to make anything good, just put the rock in it. I'm kidding, I'm kidding.
yeah.
Go
So
on.
basically I'm excited for that. Now coming for the next one, which like you also excited, I guess everyone is. The Tom and Jerry movie, which is scheduled to release
Dude,
on
I'm so
March 5.
excited.
And
Yeah.
the reason, like, I was little skeptical, and I'm still is because we know that even Disney is not able to manage to make a like even a decent live adaptation movie. Like Lion King
Hmm,
was
hmm.
bad. Like it didn't have any soul. Aladdin was just fun, not anything else.
The actress was
Yeah.
gorgeous, man.
Oh,
Like Aladdin,
bro,
like
bro, I could
like
talk. I,
I'm just saying she was absolutely gorgeous.
Naomi,
Like I'm just saying this in the best way possible. Like Naomi Scott was it's like she was also the Pink Ranger in Power Rangers, and my eyes keep getting drawn towards her. Like I'm like she's so pretty. Like she's a fantastic actress. I mean, I want to see more of her. Like I hope to see more of
she
her. And
is
I was so
in she
disappointed when the
is in like a Charlie's Angel, I guess. Yeah.
Okay, I would see that just for her. I mean,
So,
honestly, like I
bro,
was so disappointed when the
Chris.
Power Rangers sequel got cancelled
Yeah,
because I was like, I just wanted to see her.
yeah, and
But oh my God, we went from Tom and Jerry
yeah.
to her. See, that's her power, man.
And that's the beauty of our podcast. Now we go haywire in
Yeah,
everything.
yeah, yeah.
Arey, and the most interesting part about this movie is the cast. I was like okay
Hmm.
for it, but when I
So
got
who's voicing Tom?
yeah,
Who's voicing Tom?
I'm not sure about, but I will tell you the cast. Okay, there is Michael Pena.
Okay.
Michael.
Oh,
Yeah, if,
yeah, he was in
yeah,
Ant-Man, right?
yeah,
If I
Ant-Man
remember
guy.
correctly.
Hey,
Yeah.
arey,
Yeah, yeah,
that
yeah.
he's
Who
a
say he keeps saying,
yeah,
who keeps saying the stories. Like,
yeah,
I went to him, then I
yeah,
asked him, then I went
yeah.
to like,
I
dude, he's
love that
great. He's
guy. I
great.
love
Like
that guy.
someone, I remember someone saying that Endgame should start with him
True,
narrating what
true.
happened,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
like in the last 5 years. But
Yeah,
dude, he was also there in Narcos,
yeah, yeah,
the spin-off of Narcos, and dude, that season was
yeah,
phenomenal. Like they did a spin-off, like Narcos
yeah,
Mexico,
yeah,
Mexico, and they did the spin-off, and it was
yeah,
great. So absolutely talented actor, lots of
yeah.
range within him. So
And the another cast which is the highlight is like uh I I'm definitely gonna fuck up his name. I don't know how to pronounce this, but basically he's Dr. Ken, like the one guy from Hangover.
oh,
Yeah,
understood. He also had a cameo in
yeah,
Endgame.
Kendrick.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I would
yeah,
like to say Kendrick only. I'm not gonna even try.
yeah. Well, you guys know who he
Yeah.
is. I mean, dude. I'm actually now really
Yeah,
excited because the
same,
cast sounds
same,
amazing.
same.
Oh man,
Yeah.
I think after 2020 being such a hard
Yeah.
year, like I'm looking forward to some Tom and Jerry fun.
True, true, man. So,
Like
yeah,
some crazy stuff. Yeah,
coming to the next one, which is scheduled to
Hmm.
release on May 21st, that is Godzilla
Hmm.
versus Kong.
That'll be amazing.
That will be
That'll be
amazing,
amazing.
except that will be amazing, except the fact that the last two movies were like
The first Godzilla was
no.
decent.
Actually, they were planning to like this is actually a trilogy,
It was
The
like a
f- yeah,
universe. Yeah, it was like a
the
universe. Yeah.
first Kong movie, the second
Hmm.
Godzilla movie, which was the last
Hmm.
one, the King of Monster or something. I actually saw that movie, and like the filmmaker just never realizes what's the actual problem in the movie. See, the very first Godzilla movie, the new one, the coming of
Hmm.
I think it was in
Yeah.
2012, 14 or something. So the main problem, like people criticize the movie, is like the Godzilla has less screen time. Okay,
It relies
and
more on the human
yeah,
characters, which
and
I didn't
yeah,
really mind. I thought that was
exactly,
good.
exactly,
Yeah.
and that was worth it because just to see
Hmm.
Godzilla in the last 15 minutes, it was worth it because the hype was there and the build-up was on par. Now they
Yeah.
took this criticism and they turn out totally different for the sequel in the King of Monsters. They
Hmm.
actually introduced Godzilla from the very first second, and it's like, see, if I'm able to see all these kaijus all the time,
So they basically showed their cards
yeah,
right from the first.
yeah,
So it kind of took away because I'm actually I only saw the first Godzilla
yeah,
movie, so I didn't really follow this franchise in particular. So yeah, I need to probably go back and watch
yeah,
the series before
yeah,
watching it. I mean, there's lots of
yeah,
time. Like I wouldn't be getting blazed anyways from the looks of it. So so lots of time then.
yeah,
But just this concept of two titans
yeah,
going up, not titans, but these two sort of large
yeah,
creatures going up against each other. Just that thought excites
yeah,
me. So I hope they can sort of pull it together. But let's just see how that goes.
yeah.
But what's the next movie?
Next one is actually Conjuring 3, which is set to release on June 4. But James Wan is not going to direct.
Oh, who's directing it? David Sandberg? No, he's doing Shazam. So who's directing it then? I was like either James Wan or David Sandberg. I was like, there's no one in between. Although,
Michael
I mean,
Caves. I don't.
what has he done before this?
Let me see.
Because I don't mind bringing in
Arey,
fresh
bro.
blood to the
The
franchise.
Curse of La Llorona.
Okay, which I haven't watched
No,
that
it's a
actually.
bad
Was
movie.
that any
It's
good?
like,
It was a
yeah.
bad movie, but everyone deserves a second
No.
chance.
See, the
Uh,
thing is, na,
uh,
James Wan single
Jay just said no.
Arey, it's.
Like I'm like,
I'm sorry if yeah, that's not what I meant. But see, James Wan single-handedly created a multiverse on his own, horror franchise universe,
hmm,
the Conjuring verse.
true,
With
true,
that
true,
and
true.
with Conjuring 1 was really, really good. Like it's
Mm. It
still,
was even from a filmmaker
yeah,
standpoint, that film was shot
bro,
amazingly. Like,
that was insane, and that led to the like prequels of Annabelle. Then there is two
mm.
more sequels of Annabelle. Then Conjuring 2 was
Mm.
again really good because of the jump scare
Mm.
and all. But after, as for like
Yeah.
all the even the most anticipated of all the Conjuring movies, which was supposed to be the Nun,
Mm.
that was the worst of all since Annabelle 2. So,
Yeah.
so I'm not sure, but like if James Wan was directing it,
I think so. James Wan will be producing it. I'm guessing,
he's producing all
obviously
the
from the
previous Conjuring film as well.
yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. I know, I
for
know.
names,
But I,
yeah,
I would say,
yeah,
you sometimes bringing in a new director works.
yeah,
Like if you look at the Mission Impossible franchise,
yeah,
that's a franchise that actually worked very well when they kept bringing in new directors.
true,
I would also like to say the Harry Potter franchise
yeah,
because
yeah,
when they kept bringing in new directors, it sort of added
but
energy. Like every director was able to bring in their own take of
yeah,
this magical universe without really and it still maintained the continuity of the
yeah,
previous movies. So I think that works, and even if you look at the Avengers movies
yeah,
also, like you had Joss Whedon do the first two, and
yeah,
I'm so glad Russo brothers took
yeah,
over,
bro, that
from
was
Joss
one
Whedon
of the
because
best. Yeah,
they brought a certain visual sense
yeah,
to the action scenes
true,
and everything, which it really elevated the
yeah,
movie for me,
yeah,
the Infinity War and Endgame. So I think bringing in a new director is not always a bad thing.
yeah,
It could be good. The like as you said, this director hasn't really
yeah,
done his best work
mm.
yet, so maybe he has. Maybe something awesome is coming for him. He probably he might strike form in this.
I wish, man.
We've been watching the IPL. We've been watching the IPL a lot, so
Okay, okay,
But anyway, I think
yeah,
that might be good
yeah.
anyways. But what's the next movie on
Ha,
your
the
list?
next one is actually hilarious. Space Jam: A New Legacy, which is going to star LeBron James. So, do you know about Space Jam?
I know very little of this, so you'll have to take over.
Actually, basically, the first Space Jam movie was with Michael Jordan. It was around
Okay.
2000. So, basically, it's just Looney Tunes character meeting with Michael Jordan and playing the
I
basketball,
remember.
beating
I
aliens with
remember.
a
Yeah,
basketball
yeah,
match.
yeah, yeah.
So, they're actually doing
Yeah.
the same thing with like LeBron James is supposed to be the new. a
Okay,
goat.
okay.
So they're
So it's going to be a
yeah,
light-hearted movie.
exactly.
So I guess they might maybe use the technology of Detective
M-
Pikachu or Sonic maybe to bring the Looney Tunes
You
characters
know,
to life,
like
or will they just go with the 2D
I
animation
I really hope they won't because like
and go with it? Even same,
yeah,
same. They a little bit of an update to the
yeah,
2D
yeah, yeah.
animation, but don't go full
Definitely,
3D.
definitely.
But we are looking forward to this.
Yeah,
It might be
yeah.
amazing. It might be the best movie ever.
True. Who knows?
Yeah. But
Movie.
what's the
Yeah.
next one on your list?
Next one is Fantastic Beasts 3, which is scheduled to release on November
Oh,
12th.
oh, that's an interesting
That's
one.
an
So
interesting.
I mean, I have to admit, I'm not been a big fan of the Fantastic Beasts
Same,
series.
same, same.
Like the first one went and kind of I thought it was a
Yeah,
fun
first
watch.
one
It was
was yeah.
and I like the twist in the end
Hmm.
of Grindelwald. Sort of being under the shadows, like, under the curtains, like the guy who's pulling the strings,
Yeah,
and the twist, like Johnny Depp playing him was a little weird, but
yeah.
it was fun. I didn't expect him to be there. They kept that under wraps
True.
really well. And then the second one I thought went really weird because I was hoping to get more of Albus Dumbledore and Grindelwald, like their sort of,
Yeah,
the sort of rivalry between them. I was hoping to get more into that. And I didn't really do that. They kind of put Newt as the main
yeah.
protagonist. And I think see, they have a great Dumbledore in Jude Law.
True.
Like Jude Law is an amazing actor, and I thought he was like the perfect pick for Dumbledore to play the young version of Dumbledore.
Yeah,
So I really hope they lean in more to the rivalry between these characters. I think they can do something really amazing. I also think that Fantastic Beasts 1 and 2, it was written by J.K. Rowling,
yeah.
and I think her screenplay approach is a bit like writing a novel,
Hmm.
like where she writes a lot of subplots. Like there's a lot of plot threads going on,
Yeah,
and it's very similar to reading a Harry Potter book. And in the end, everything sort of comes
yeah,
together. And the thing is that I think in it kind of worked in Fantastic Beasts 1
hmm.
because it felt like the subplot was a twist in the end
Yeah,
with Ezra Miller's character. But in the second one, I thought the twists also was like, I'm like, okay, yeah, I guess this guy's related to this. Okay, oh, something related to a
yeah,
boat. Okay, some kid. Like it felt very soap opera-ish, and
yeah,
it felt like they were trying to juggle too many story threads that were not very entertaining. That were not very interesting.
yeah,
Like I was like, I'm not very appeal. Like I don't find this very appealing. Like even the Ezra Miller twist in the end that he's part of the Dumbledore
yeah,
family. I was like.
yeah,
I mean, like,
yeah.
I don't know. Like, I'm not I think Israel is a good actor, but I'm not quite sure if I'm excited about this. So, I mean, overall, I guess, but I'm looking forward to this. If they lean in more to the Dumbledore story,
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to this.
definitely.
Anyway, with that, I think we have come to the end
Yeah,
of the podcast. We come to the end of the podcast. If you do enjoy this episode, be sure to hit that like button and do hit that subscribe button. If you're watching this on YouTube, understand that this is an abridged version. There's a lot of stuff that you probably didn't hear. So if you want to listen to an extended version, not extended, the full episode basically, if you want to listen to the full episode, be sure to listen to us in various audio platforms. Anyway, with that, we are ending this podcast, guys. We'll see you next week. Do have a great weekend. Thanks, guys.